All right, well, let's start on the first side. Let's go over the perimeter homework. And we start with number 1. If you're going to find the perimeter of something, I don't know, can you help me? How would you find the perimeter of that weird looking shape? It's a quadrilateral, I know, but it doesn't really have any tendencies like a square or a rectangle would. Hunter?
You would add up all the sides and see what you got.
All right, so 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 2 more is 6, plus 5 more gives you 11. Yes, one of the reasons I wanted to make sure we went over this together, and guys, I want you to go over these problems with me, is as you get to your other ones, Cal, you can kind of finish them as we go. 11 is not full credit type answer, because for me to travel 11 inches would take me about half a second. But to go 11 miles would take a couple hours, okay? You have to make sure you label. So number 1 is 11 inches. Tell me about number 2. Darren?
4 plus 7 equals 11.
So we're going to add all sides?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, to find the perimeter.
And then plus 6 equals
13. 13 centimeters. What did you say, 13?
No, I said 7.
I wondered. 17 centimeters. Very good. Number 3, again, we've got this would be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a 6-sided figure. We call that a hexagon. So, add up all the sides.
This one 9 meters.
Well, let's see. 7 plus 3 is 10. Plus 8 is 18. Plus 4 is 22. Plus 2, 24. I agree with him. Plus 5. Did you get 29 meters?
Yes.
Good job. And number 4, once again, we're adding up all the sides. Hunter?
4 plus 9 is...
14 plus
Oh,
9?
yeah, 14 plus 9 is 21.
23, actually.
Oh, 23.
Yep. Now do this. Put the 12 and the 8 together. If 14 plus 9 is 23, what's 8 and 12? That's an easy 20, isn't it? So now, isn't it a lot easier to go 23 plus 20?
Mm-hmm.
And now 10? And what'd you get?
43.
Plus the 10?
There's 53.
Yes, so we're at 53 feet. Okay? Yes, Cal? Is that the one I have? You're checking with me. You are doing your homework later. We're going over the ones you have finished. So check these with me. Any questions on the first 4? Notice how there's no real shortcuts to these because, well, they're not squares, they're not rectangles. We simply have to add all of our sides. When we look at the next set, I think there's some shortcuts. So I don't want to just add all sides for number 5. Do you know a shortcut to finding the perimeter of a rectangle? Tell me about it, Kyle. Out of curiosity, Kyle, if this side's 3 yards, what's the side opposite? Okay, that's also 3. So how many 3s are there?
2.
So we're talking about having 2 3s. What's 2 times 3?
2 times 3 is 6.
Okay, that's a shortcut, I believe. How about the other 2 sides?
Times by 6.
By 6.
You get 12.
Very good. So the shortcut is not necessarily having to add up all the sides. You could do that. You'd get the same answer. You'd also get 18. However, Kyle knows a shortcut. See, there's 2 3s and there's 2 6s. So the shortcut is 2 times 3 plus 2 times 6. And that would give us 18 yards. Number 6. Go ahead, Mitchell.
I'll do number 6, but I did find one.
Good, I'll be with you in a second. It's all done?
Yeah.
Ian and Darren, no luck finding them?
No, I can't find one.
Okay, I can't give you any points right now then. Mitchell?
Okay, I had one. Number 6, you did add 99 together.
Okay, so what you're saying again is it's a rectangle.
Yes.
So if that side's 9,
That's 12 on the top.
very good, that's 9. And then we also have this other opposite ones, that's 12 and another 12. So I think you're saying, again, the shortcut would be, if you have 2 9s, what's 2 times 9?
18.
Very good. And you have 2 12s. What's 2 times 12?
24.
And it would be the same as adding all sides, but adding those two together looks like 42 miles for number 6. I think we talked about it earlier, but if the label's not there, well, the answer's not right. You have to have the label. So practice quiz, you have to have the label. All right, there's one more thing I want to look at for number 7. Let me just switch it up with you for a moment. What if I knew these two sides, when I add them together, 17 plus 20? What's 17 plus 20? Hunter?
37.
37. Very good. But how many of those do you see? What do you think this over here is going to equal?
37.
Another 37. So like the distributive property told us earlier, in number 6 and number 5, it's like multiplying by them separately. Whereas number 7, let's put them together and then multiply. So if you add 17 and 20, you get halfway around. That's here. Do it again, and you get all the way around the circle. And 2 times 37, 74 feet. How many people have not missed one so far? Any perfect papers out there still? Pretty good. Pretty good. The question changes slightly for number 8. It asks us, what is the length of side B, which is right here, if the perimeter is 30 inches? So I think here we have to go a little backwards. We already know the distance around it, Nick. How are we going to find what that one missing piece is? How are we going to find that distance right there?
You add 6 plus 7 plus 8.
Okay, 6 plus 7 plus 8. What'd you get?
21.
How does that help me if I know the whole perimeter is 30?
Then you gotta subtract those. 30 minus 20.
If you know all the way around is 30, and you know that from here to here to here is that 21, I agree with Nick completely. All you have to do is subtract to find the last distance. 30 minus 21, what'd you get, Nick? 9 what? 9 inches. Very good. What's 9 inches? Side B.
Miss Oris,
One label would be helpful, would be B equals.
just lost my perfect.
That's all right. See, it's really nice to have perfect homework, but even if you make a mistake, we can make corrections. And then when do we want the perfect?
On the test.
Yeah, practice quiz.
The perfect.
Homework is still time to learn
And
from our mistakes.
especially the chapter test.
All right, number 9. Anybody want to help with 9?
Oh.
Sean? Can you help me with 9, Sean? 45 is the whole perimeter. Okay, if you start adding the 20 and adding the 10, we're going to get more than 45. So, but Sean, the one thing to think of is we already know the whole distance around this thing is 45. So what I would maybe ask, Sean, how far is it if you started, let's picture you right here, and you traveled that length. How far did you go? You went 10 yards, and then you went that length. And how far have you gone so far? 30 yards. But what it says is that to get all the way around, it would be 45 total. So remember what, I think Nick, right? What Nick helped us with on number 8 was to subtract those two. Well, let's try that then, Sean. What's 45 minus 30? That would be the total perimeter minus the amount that we've traveled so far. Very good. Our answer would be 15 yards. And this is side S, they called it. So we'll put S equals 15 yards. Nice job. So if you got something like Sean was getting to about 75, that's going to be too much. We already know the perimeter. We just want the one side. All right? Cal, you want to help with number 10? That sounds great. Let's look at number 10. No picture, which always kind of throws me off a little bit at first. But I like drawing pictures. I've seen some of you guys, you like to draw pictures. Maybe we should add our own picture, Cal, for number 10. A triangular rug has sides that measure 13, 16, and 12. If a picture would help, 16 feet, 12 feet, 13 feet. Cal, how would we find the perimeter?
13 plus 16 plus 12.
Very good. We would add them up. And what do you get when you add those up?
You get 41 feet.
Excellent. Good job, Cal. 41 feet. See, no picture. We could make one, though. That's a really good strategy to solving some of these word problems, is drawing yourself a picture. Number 11, I think we really need a picture. It talks about a rectangular swimming pool. Let's picture this as our swimming pool. It says the perimeter is 140. So if you have an answer higher than 140, I don't think we did the problem correctly, because the perimeter is already 140. And it said the pool is 20 meters wide. All right, that would be like this, being 20 meters. If this one's 20, then what's the one opposite it?
20.
It's also 20. Okay, but here's the thing. All the way around the swimming pool is 140 meters. Well, just these two is 20 plus 20 more. That's 40. Well, we're not going to add those together. The whole perimeter is 40.
Oh, so you're going to subtract.
We're going to subtract what we know so far. And this is what we know about the other two sides. The other two sides have to equal 100. And if they're equal, what will we do to find that value? Hunter?
Subtract or divide 100 by 2.
You divide that by 2, and you probably know, take half of 100, and the length is 50. So, this missing value right here, the length, is 50 feet. Okay? I saw a lot of answers earlier with 320. Well, that's if you added up 140 plus 20 plus 140 plus 20. Unfortunately, there we already know the perimeter. We just wanted to know what the missing length was. Okay? All right, let's go to the next page. On to the back. That takes us here to practice B for 9-8. Now let's work with some circles. If I remember correctly, we started this together. What did we name the circle? You remember what we named? Cal? Why did you name the circle X?
Because in the middle there's a little X.
Because we named the circle with the center point. That's in the circle. Very good.
I know number 2.
Excellent. I just wanted to make sure. How about number 2? Name 2 diameters. Now, if I remember a diameter, it goes all the way across. Darren?
Y and W and V and X, Z.
Y and
W and Y.
Okay, now he is pointing, when he says W and Y, don't all of our eyes go all the way from one side through the middle to the other? If I just write WY, I've only described 2 points.
And then V and Z.
Well, wait. WY is only describing 2 points. What I want to describe is the segment that connects the 2 points.
X.
So I have to put a symbol above it. I think we looked at this yesterday. The symbol above a segment is like a bar. It has no arrows on the end.
We never.
Well, didn't we do this one together, number 3?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if we put the.
we did. I remember it just like it was yesterday. Oh wait, it was yesterday. Huh. How about another segment? Move your seat back if you're going to keep picking the desk. Ian, can you help me find another, I should say diameter, all the way across? Very good. He said VZ. I was thinking ZV. Are we talking about the same thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same segment. VZ is the same as ZV. You name the endpoints and you put the symbol that connects them. So there are 2 diameters. And those are the only 2. So how about our radii? We talked about yesterday how radii, that's basically plural for radius. I gave you one yesterday, I remember it was the WX. It was this radius right here. And do you remember we put the line above it? So pick out a new one. Amy? VX. Very good. Here would be a second radius. A third one. Peyton, will you give me a third? YX. That's, yeah, very good. Is that the same as XY? Yeah. And last one, Cody? ZX. Very good. Notice how all of those start on the circle and end at the center point. Okay. So now for 4 and 5, we start finding circumference. And I got a blue ticket for you if you know the formula for finding circumference.
I got it.
Juliana.
Circumference equals pi times diameter.
Excellent. Pi times the diameter. Very good. Remember that CD. Oh. Well, speaking of Juliana, Hunter and Juliana, I joked about ripping a MiG in half. I forgot to give them to you. So I have 2 here with your names on them anyway. Pass that one over to Hunter. And then there's yours today. So how do we find circumference? We multiply pi times the diameter. And what does pi equal? I think right here we're going to use the 3.14. Now Juliana, finish number 4 for me. Did they give you the radius or the diameter?
The diameter.
And so the diameter is 12. So all we have to do is multiply 3.14 times 12.
37.68 meters.
37 and 68 hundredths of a meter. Very good. How about number 5? Darren?
You want us to find the radius or the diameter?
Well, I don't know. What do we use to find circumference? Remember my CD up here?
CD, circumference,
Uses what? Radius or diameter?
diameter.
Okay.
10.
What did they give us? Did they give us the radius or the diameter?
They gave us the radius but not the diameter.
They only gave us the radius. And if the radius is 5, what's the diameter all the way across?
Because you times the radius by 2, that's what gives you the diameter.
Very good. So what's the circumference?
It goes like all around the circle.
Well, okay. What's it equal? What is 3.14 times 10?
Like 5.
Well, it'll be 31 and 4/10. Really, multiplying by 10 is just moving a decimal over. Anybody get 4 and 5 right? Both 4 and 5. 1, 2, 3.
I got 4 right.
All right. Not bad. Let's go on and let's finish up at the bottom.
It's almost like that pi, how 3.4, 12.14, but that's only 3.1.
Exactly. When you multiply by 10 or 100 or 1,000, the numbers don't change, but moving the decimal point over will. Okay? Now, the next 2 problems, it says a gardener is putting in a circular garden. The inner circle is for vegetables, and the outer circle is a flower garden. Find the circumference by doing what, guys?
Rounding to use 3.
By rounding pi to 3. So instead of continuing to use 3.14, they say to just round to 3. So number 6, the diameter of the vegetable garden, which that would be this part right here, is 6 feet. Well, what's the circumference? We're going to use
12.
Not 12. Good try. I think that said round pi to 3, and we always do pi times the diameter. So it's not 2 times 6 for 1200.
I got 8.
It's 3 times 6, which is
18, Mr. Woods. You're making this too easy, Mr. Woods.
18 feet. All right, number
Kat,
7.
Did you get this? Kat, did you get this?
Number 7, if the radius of the flower garden, so now we're here, we're all the way to the middle, the radius is 8. What's the circumference? Are we going to do 3 times 8? Is that what we're doing?
Yes.
Wait, are we supposed to use the radius or the diameter?
Diameter.
We're supposed to use the diameter. If the radius is 8, then what's the diameter?
6.
No, it's got to go 8 more all the way across. Ah, that's right. We don't want to use 3 times 8. We want to use 3 times 16 because that's all the way across. And that would give us 48 feet for the circumference of the flower garden. All right, last 2. Number 8, the Ferris wheel, or the first one, was built in Chicago in 1893. Its diameter was 250 feet. How many feet did the Ferris wheel rotate with each complete turn? If you rotate a circle 1 time around, that's the same as finding what?
The circumference.
The circumference. This is basically just asking us for the circumference. Pi times the diameter. 3.14 times 250. You get, Juliana? 785. If you got a decimal less than 1, you might have divided. We needed to make sure we multiplied. That would be 785 feet. That's if you're sitting on the Ferris wheel and you travel 1 loop all the way around, you basically traveled 785 feet. But you just got to sit there and let the wheel do the work.
I'm trying to find itself.
Yes, that wouldn't work. Number 9. Stonehenge is a circle of large carved stones in England. It was built more than 1,000 years ago. The circle of stones has a diameter of 108 feet. What is the circumference? Well, like all of our examples and Juliana's reminder, pi times the diameter. What'd you get for 3.14, Kyle, times 108?
339.12.
339 and 12/100ths of a foot. Very good. Okay. So I would like you to